students, welcome to the class. Advertising, lesson 27, elements of an advertisement. Objectives, elements of an advertising copy, structuring of ad copy. There are various elements components that constitute an advertisement. Irrespective of the type of advertisement and the medium of advertisement used, print or media, the main components of an advertisement remain the same. To achieve the desired marketing objectives from advertisement as a tool, ad campaigners must use these components in the preferred combination. This section highlights the main elements of an advertisement. There are some basic elements of an advertising copy. Some advertisements may contain almost all, while some may contain 2 or 3 elements. The most important to the copy is its ability to deliver and get desired result. As mentioned earlier, no rules guide the application or usage of copy elements. It is solely the creative responsibility of the copywriter to determine that. The following are the basic elements of an advertising copy: the headline, the subhead, the body, copy text, the caption, the blurb of balloon, the box and panels, slogans, logotype and signature, illustrations and colors. Other important elements. In addition to above mentioned elements of an advertisement, following components can be an important part of an ad. 1. In addition to the logo of a host company, the logos of different sponsors and donors can also be incorporated in the advertising materials. 2. Various disclaimers such as early bird discounts and other promotional code should be used in the advertising campaign. 3. The advertisement must also provide the contact information for the event. 4. Endorsements such as industry approval stamps or similar ones should be used to strengthen the reliability of the advertisement and event as well. 5. Nowadays, QR codes are increasingly being used on advertisements. These provide quick link to more detailed information about the company, brand, product, service or event. These codes directly take the customer to the company, product or event web page, social media page, ticket outlet and so on to facilitate customers' easy participation. The headline. It is the leading sentence or sentences at the top of an advertisement that attract attention, communicate a key selling point or achieve brand identification. A short piece of text, usually in larger type, designed to be the first words the audience reads. Also referred to as caption, the headline is designed alongside a catchy illustration to capture and attract attention to the advertisement. It drives prospective buyers to further investigate the brand. The headline is usually not the slogan but is unique to one particular product. Call it the telegraphic message which the advertiser puts in big print for the public to read. Many headlines fail to attract attention and it becomes a clutter in the consumer's life. Lifeless headlines fail to compel the reader to examine the other parts of the advertisement. A headline can neither motivate a reader to move on to the rest of an advertisement or lose the reader. A combination of a good headline and an attractive illustration is what makes the advertisement click. The reader will be compelled to read the copy if the headline is catchy and the illustration is attractive. The popular dictum in the advertising world reads, "You must draw the reader's eyes to your advertisement like a magnet. Make them look into a sales message. Some copywriters believe that the headline alone can achieve the purpose, while others believe that the illustration serves this purpose. Better, David Ogilvy also seems to be holding a similar view when he states that headlines below the illustration are read by 10% more people than headlines above the illustration. A good headline should have the following features or qualities. It appeals to the reader's self-interest. In other words, it offers the reader exactly what he wants. It gives something new, either a new angle, idea, or a new product. In other words, it has news value. It arouses the reader's curiosity so that he is compelled to go on to the rest of the matter. It uses simple, direct, interesting, and effective language. Emphasize a brand claim. 30% more mileage on Firestone tires. Highlights durability. Give advice to the reader. A headline can give the reader a recommendation that is followed by results provided in the body copy. Select prospects. Headlines can attract the attention of the intended audience. For example, good news for arthritis sufferers. Stimulate readers' curiosity. Posing a riddle with headlines can serve to attract attention and stimulate readership. Curiosity can be stimulated with a clever play of words or a contradiction. For example, pluck a hair from your head. Identify the brand. The brand name or label is used as headline either in conjunction with a word or two. The goal is to simply identify the brand and reinforce brand name recognition. Benefit. What really grabs sustainable attention is a benefit, or more precisely, a believable promise of value. Direct headlines make a direct promise about how the product will benefit the readers. Readers are often interested in what is new in the product, so the words new, improved, etc. are often used in headlines. Such headlines provide some new information and are called news headlines. Sometimes the promise of benefit is not offered in the headline. Instead, an indirect approach is adopted by either posing a question or making a provocative statement. The headline tries to create a lot of curiosity about the product. It also forces the readers or the audience to see the copy, and the promise is made in the copy of the ad. In command headlines, the readers are urged to buy the product by promising a reward. Usually they command or ask the consumers to buy, whether it says so directly or not. Your headline will generate interest and attention only if it offers the reader something that benefits them. The benefit that you offer to the reader can have several dimensions. It might be something very concrete, such as reducing their insurance premiums. It might be something emotional, like the chance to protect their family, and it might even be something as insubstantial as the opportunity to be entertained by reading the rest of the advert, if you want to take that approach. Make the headline a major persuasive component of the advertisement. People read the headline as many as 5 times as compared to the body copy of an advertisement. Appeal to the reader's self-interest with a basic promise of benefits from the brand. For example, The temperature never drops below zero. Promises engine protection in freezing weather. Introduce the maximum information in the headline without making it awkward or long-winded. Limit headlines to about 5 to 8 words. Recall drops off extensively for sentences longer than 8 words. Entice the reader to read the body copy. Entice the reader to examine the visual in the advertisement. An intriguing headline can lead the reader to carefully examine the visual components of the advertisement. Never use a headline whose persuasive impact depends on reading the body copy. Use simple, common and familiar words. Recognition and comprehension are aided by words that are easy to understand and recognize. But the headline may violate one or even all of these basic premises and still be effective. Copy and visual should complement each other and not be fighting for attention. Remember, the rule of thumb is never show what you are saying and never say what you are showing. Whenever you want to write a headline about a product, service or company, always consider how you can turn it around so that it includes or refer to the reader instead. Always see to it that the headline includes the magic word you. If you want to engage people, you must talk about them. Including words like you and your involves the reader in what you are saying, turning a monologue into a dialogue. By contrast, back foot from the outset unless you are going to talk about something brilliant you can do for them. Who is we anyway? If your name or brand is unfamiliar to the reader, saying we isn't going to push any buttons for them, whereas you encourages them to think about someone who is always in their thoughts themselves. When we see or hear a sentence that includes you, it always prompts us to think something. Even if it's only no, that's not true. For example, don't you deserve a better kitchen? Now you are thinking about your kitchen. It's almost impossible not to. But contrast that with a headline such as kitchens made beautiful. Put each idea, sentence or even phrase on a separate line. Rather than to try and maintain the text as a proper paragraph, add headings as and when you want them, without worrying about whether they are the right ones. Use headings that make sense to you. For now, you can replace them with the real ones later. Subheadings, sometimes called cross-headings or crossheads, are headings inserted into the flow of the text. The subhead consists of a few words or short sentences and usually appears below the headline. It includes important brand information not included in the headline and reinforces or explains the headline. The goal is to provide a smooth transition into the body copy. A subhead basically serves the same purpose as the headline. That is, communicate key selling points or brand information quickly. The print is larger than the body copy but smaller than the headline. The subhead may be lengthier than the headline and is used to communicate more complex selling points. The subhead should reinforce the headline and entice the reader to proceed to the body copy. It can stimulate a more complex reading of the entire advertisement, including the visual. The longer the body copy, the more appropriate the use of subheads. However, most creative directors try to minimize the use of subheads because they feel that if an advertisement's visual and headline cannot communicate the benefits of the product quickly and clearly, the advertisement is not very good. They serve three very important functions. They break up the text so the reader isn't daunted by a huge block of words. They allow the reader to navigate directly to the section that interests them. They can be used to sum up key points, so reader can get a sense of your meaning even when they are skim reading. Subheadings must be used appropriately, by which I mean they must be in proportion with the text they are breaking up. Over frequent headings are intrusive and will disrupt the flow, while too few headings will fail to provide the orientation you are looking for. You are looking to provide footholds or a way to get grasp with the text. No more, no less, ideally subheadings should occur with a reasonably consistent pacing. For example, every 3 or 4 paragraphs. It also helps if they are all roughly the same length and all take the same form. Using them in an inconsistent or irregular way will generate unease in the reader's mind. Copy refers to the way the message is phrased and presented in the advertisement. This aspect greatly varies with the medium selected for advertisement. For example, broadcasting advertisements may not need so much of written information as in print advertisements because they can very easily build their advertisements using audio and video components. For radio advertisements, the words and sounds have to be well thought of to bring about the desired level of impact on the target audience. The information should be organized depending on the amount and relevance of the information being conveyed. The copy thus may be split into a heading, a subheading and the body of the advertisement with the accompanying disclaimer. The body copy is a textual component of an advertisement and tells the complete story of a brand. The body copy should be written in a fashion that takes advantage of and reinforces the headline and the subhead, is compatible with and gains strength from the visual and is interesting to the reader. However, the most elaborate body copy will be ineffective if it is off strategy. There are several techniques for preparing a body copy. The straight line copy approach explains in straightforward terms why a reader will benefit from the use of the brand. The narrative method simply displays a series of statements about a brand. A person may or may not be portrayed as delivering the copy. It is difficult to make this technique lively, so the threat of writing a dull advertisement is present in this technique. In direct response copy, the copywriter tries to highlight the urgency of acting immediately. Use present tense whenever possible. Casting brand claims in the past or future reduces their credibility and timeliness and may sound like hollow promises. Use singular nouns and verbs. An advertisement is normally read by one person at a time and that person is evaluating only one brand. Using plural nouns or verbs reduces the focus on brand attribute being talked about and makes the advertisement less personal. Use active verbs. We build excitement, suggest something is happening and happening now. It stimulates interest. Use familiar words and phrases. Creatively stylize what is familiar and comfortable to the reader so that builds interest and excitement. Involve the reader. The reader should feel that the copy has been specifically written for him. Provide support for the unbelievable. A brand may have features or functions that readers find hard to believe. It is necessary to document that the brand actually lives up to the claims made. If it is not done, the brand will lose credibility and relevance. Avoid cliches and superlatives. Cliches are rarely effective or attention grabbing. The brand using cliches is seen as old fashioned and stale. Superlatives, best, superior, should be avoided as these terms are worn out and the consumer may feel that the brand has little new or different to offer. Illustrations, visuals. Visuals are useful in print and broadcast media. These are referred to the images in print advertisements and the sequences in TV advertisements. Again, the type of advertisement targeted at short-term sales or long-term sales determines the visual solution for an advertisement. These could be photographs, graphs, maps, tables or any other matter which form part of the copy and aim at further amplifying the advertisements. Any drawing, photograph, illustration, chart or other graphic that is designed to affect the audience in some purposeful way. For example, an image of an SUV perched high up on a rugged mountain cliff may appeal to one's sense of adventure. Message. The information or communication of an advertisement should be clear, significant and appropriate for the target audience. It should comprise of the message holding the idea and concept of the event that directly hits the needs of the target audience. For the ad designers to incorporate all above factors and create an expressive and persuasive ad requires a thorough knowledge of the event, event organizers, other stakeholders, external environment and of course a good overview of the target audience. Include their interest, socio-economic profile, demographic profile, lifestyles and so on. Slogan. It's a phrase or a sentence that describes the benefit derived from the product or one of the product's most important attributes. The term slogan comes from the Gaelic words meaning battle cry. These days, it is the battle cry in the field of sales and marketing. It consists of a single phrase by which an advertiser conveys an important idea. Slogan is thus a short and catchy phrase that gets the attention of the audience, is easy to remember and comes off the tongue easily. A company's slogan rarely changes. Slogan can be of different types. Slogan that emphasizes product or reward. Every product has some reward to offer consumers. It may have some hidden quality that differentiates a product from the competitors. Slogans that emphasizes action to be The slogan might urge directly that you use the product or service. Tagline. A tagline is simply a brief phrase that is closely allied with a company name or brand. It can appear in a range of media, typically including websites, stationery, printed marketing collateral, TV advertisements, and so on. Often, the tagline appears in close proximity with the company name and or logo. In some cases, it is locked up with the logo so that graphic and phrase form a single visual unit. Is there a difference between headline, slogan and a tagline? Well, in my mind, a slogan is associated with a particular product, service or marketing campaign, whereas a tagline is associated with a company or brand. Some marketers express this distinction as product tagline versus company tagline. So, you can have several slogans or product taglines, but only one company tagline, and your slogans are likely to change more often than your company tagline, which is a key part of building equity in a brand long term. These are written in a smaller typeface than the body copy to represent sales points by illustrating and explaining them at the same time. Colors. For the purpose of embellishment, various colors are used to increase the attractiveness of the copy among other purposes. Background. This is the predominant element occupying the back of the copy. Its nature, form and color adds to the attractiveness of the copy. In terms of the overall structure of your copy, here are some points you can consider. Benefits. Since benefits are at the heart of all good copywriting, it can't hurt to use them as the guiding principle for your structure. Let each section explain how a particular benefit will be delivered. The headings write themselves, simply describe each benefit. Features. As stated, benefits sell best in nearly every situation. But there are times, such as when you are writing for a very technically literate audience, then features are the way to go. If so, you could use them as the key to break up and structure your copy. Story. Your copy takes the form of a narrative with a distinct beginning, middle and end. It might be the story of someone purchasing and using a product or joining a group or anything else related to whatever you are promoting. Stories are easy to read, intuitively understood and highly memorable. In B2B marketing, case studies are a form of very detailed storytelling. In B2C, the story might be fictitious or a blend of fact and fiction, or a typical customer story. Problem and solution. You begin by describing a problem that readers can relate to before describing the solution. Naturally, the solution involves the promoted product or service in some way. Numbered list. You break down your points into a set number of modules or points, which you then tick off one by one. Different viewpoints. Your copy examines the same situation from a range of different viewpoints, from general to detail, perhaps in conjunction with another structure. You can move from the general to the detailed over the course of your copy. This has the effect of leading the reader by the hand from the headline into more complex territory, where you need to add more background to explain the benefits. Advertising is called copy because historically advertisers would copy the text for their advertisement by hand. An advertising copy helps in promoting a product or service by creating compelling and persuasive messages that capture the attention of the viewers and target audience. It involves using persuasive language, attention, grabbing headlines, encompassing text, slogans, and engaging visuals to communicate the benefits and USP of the product or service. Ultimately, persuading the consumers to make a purchase or to take a desired action.